Hi, everybody. I just wanted to talk a little bit about medications, and what they actually are and how they work. I'm not a doctor. I just want to tell you that right from the start. I just want to tell you a little bit about prescription medication and what it's actually designed to do. So we all know that it's designed mainly to inhibit or block or suppress certain symptoms. So when you present to the doctor with various symptoms, they will prescribe either a blocker or a suppressor or an inhibitor type of medication. And basically that has a function and that will hopefully suppress your symptoms. But what it actually does, I just want to use an analogy of how medications actually work with the body. So let's say, for example, instead of a human body, we're talking about a vehicle, a car. So you're driving this car down the road and it seems to be running quite well, and suddenly the oil light comes on. So when the oil light comes on, what does that tell you? It tells you that that's a symptom of something that's going on in the engine somewhere. So let's say, for example, then you go to the mechanic to get that fixed, and the mechanic prescribes a suppressor, an inhibitor, or a blocker for that oil light. So let's say, for example, that he gives you a piece of duct tape and says, okay, here, we'll just cover that with a piece of duct tape. See, your symptoms are gone, off you go. But the mechanic not only does that, he says, here, you can have the whole roll just in case that comes unstuck or something goes wrong with it. You can just keep adding another piece of tape onto that light and everything should be absolutely fine. So you can see where that's headed. So I just want you to know that medications are not something to be tampered with or messed with, and there's certainly nothing that you should be using on a long-term basis. They're just a temporary fix, and it's far better to go natural and use food as medicine rather than medications. And quite often, a lot of the symptoms that we have are basically caused by an overburdened liver. So if you really want to fix it, adding medications to the burden on your liver is just going to make things worse in the long run. So that's basically what I wanted to tell you about. Um, there is a lot of food. Another thing I just thought of is that quite often they will say, but can't you cure the symptoms? I want to know, I want to get to the source, what's causing it. And GPs will generally say there is no cure for your situation. All we can do is manage symptoms, because that's what they're trained to do. They can manage symptoms. They'll never go to the source, what it's actually caused by. So that's just a little bit of information that I think is really important for people to know. So when you really want to get to the source of the symptoms, it's usually your liver that's the problem, an overtaxed liver, and you need to get rid of that stuff. And I'm not talking about fasting, because most people that do fasts, liver cleanses or gallbladder washes or whatever, they don't know what they're doing. So quite often what happens is the liver, when you're doing a particular fast, the liver will release all the muck, all the toxins, but then unless you're actually continuing with the whole process so that all that muck can actually come out of the body through the urine or the feces, that stuff is just all going to lodge in different parts of your body, or it's going to end up just floating around and go straight back to your liver again. So it's really important to do things properly, to do things gradually and safely, of course. That's all I wanted to say. It's been on my mind a long time, so thank you very much for listening.